What's up? It's Jonah, in between the BS, hitting the streets. Now, I had the honor of interviewing Karla Estrada. Oh man, she's with the business. Straight up activist, for the movement, for the peoples. Now I hear a lot of people say, oh man, the world's going crazy, there's a lot of crazy things going on. No. What's going on is that there's a lot of us practicing our constitutional rights to freedom of assembly and the freedom of speech. With that said, I present you Karla Estrada. We're right here in front of the federal building in protest of the separation of children going on and the terrorism and the violation of human rights that are continuously going on within the United States and treating our indigenous people as second-class citizens in our homeland. This is Karla Estrada, I believe.
Yes.
Karla Estrada, and she's phenomenal.
I'm not special. I'm an undocumented immigrant, just like the elotero, just like the paletero. So I'm not a dreamer. I'm an undocumented immigrant. And I stand here today with 11 million undocumented immigrants, asylum seekers, Native Americans, and the Black community. I am not them, but they live within me because we're all one community. So when you show up for Black lives, when you show up for Native lives, when you show up for undocumented lives, then you have to show up to every single one of them.
Karla, why are you so passionate about this?
You know what? I think all of us have to be passionate in terms of this is a human rights violation, so we have to be passionate in order to condemn and to try to fix this human rights violation. Change does not come out of a sudden. Change comes in spurts. What's important is to make an impact. And I talk so passionately in hopes that I inspired someone into action in order for them to take a step and build a foundation of change.
If we want accountability from the enemy, we need to hold ourselves accountable. So look at yourself in the mirror every time you wake up and at your neighbor and say, man, you're a fucking up. You're being anti-Black. You're being sexist. You're being homophobe. Have courage to say that to yourselves and say that to your best friend and your neighbor and your fellow activist. So today I stand here to demand things. To demand things from the government that is supposedly working for you. They work for you.
Build a foundation of change.
But you're a dreamer.
Indeed.
You're good.
I'm not a dreamer, I'm a documented immigrant.
But you're good, right? You got your permission to stay here. You got every reason in the world not to care. You got every reason. I mean, that's not your problem, right? If you think about it. So, that passion, it's more than humanity, I believe. I believe we're all here, because I'm a citizen. I'm born here, supposedly, right? And I'm here. They can't fuck with you, so you're here. But why are we here?
So we stand here then to demand, and I'll tell you our demands right now and today. So every time you're asked, then you know. We demand defund and abolish ICE. Abolish ICE.
Abolish ICE!
Abolish ICE.
Abolish ICE!
DHS must be held accountable for inflicting trauma on both parents and their children. Ensures all people have access to due process and they are not penalized twice for the same crime by making sure that people who have been released from jail can be with their families instead of being deported. And to the deportations in our communities. Abolish ICE.
Abolish ICE!
Abolish ICE.
Abolish ICE!
Justice for her indigenous sister, Claudia Patricia Gomez Gonzalez, who was murdered, shot in the head by Border Patrol.
Claudia Patricia Gomez Gonzalez, which would be her right here, a 19-year-old Guatemalan migrant refugee, not an illegal alien. See, when they tell you his story, their story, they will label us whatever they tend to label us. But it's time for us to tell our stories, take control of our narrative, and speak truth to power. See, she was a refugee because ever since they've landed, our peoples have not been allowed to govern themselves. They started a fire over there in Central America and South America. Look at what's going on in Venezuela, another Russian elected puppet. With that said, they started a fire and people are fleeing for their lives. They are fleeing for their lives. A genocide is occurring in Central America. And these individuals push a narrative of immigrants trying to cross our borders. No, they're running for their lives because of a fire, trouble, a genocide that our land of the free, home of the brave started. Pay attention. Put aside his story and start paying attention to our story. Because this is not something that's just happening. This is something that has been happening to our peoples. Yes, I am a brown-skinned American citizen, born on this land. And because of that privilege, I believe that it is my duty until they kill me or arrest me, that our stories must be told, that the world must know the genocidal process of brown-skinned peoples. It has never stopped. It has continuously been going on. Claudia, Patricia, Gomez, Gonzalez. It's not enough just to say her name. The time has come for us to be heard.
Indigenous sister, Claudia Patricia Gomez Gonzalez, who was murdered, shot in the head by Border Patrol. So fuck CBP too. Fuck them.
Fuck them.
Real, comprehensive immigration reform. A path to legalization for all. And then reforming the court system and a CBP system. Because we can legalize our brothers and sisters, but if the system remains broken, if it remains faulty, we will never have justice for future immigrants. Shut down Adelanto Detention Center, one of the deadliest detention centers in Southern California, and return all the detainees home safely. My brother, Angel Antonio Estrada Sanchez, was in Adelanto Detention Center. Involuntary departure in April 2017 because he feared for his life. So fuck the detention center. It's just a prison for making money off immigrants' lives.
Check this out, man. Our peoples, plain and simple, we've always been good for business. Now, this ain't no conspiracy theory. This ain't, straight up facts, man. Our peoples have always been good for business. You know, they kidnap our peoples. They put them in detention centers. Good people start up these GoFundMe pages, right? It's not knock what they're doing, they're saving people. But at the same time, where's that money going to? See, that money's going straight to the true enemy, the private contractors, the ones who are holding people and children in their detention centers. See, let's see the bias. The school teacher lady, yeah, her peoples are contracted right now holding kids. $750 a night is what they charging the government. See, the true enemy, corporate, them big dollar monies, those contractors, You know, those ones that are banking in money right now for holding people in their detention centers. Oh, and let's not forget about this too, man. Our peoples are also good for spare parts. Oh, yeah. You know? So not only are we good marketing for detention centers, but we good marketing for kidneys, hearts, livers. We good marketing for organs, man. Trust. If you ain't being paid attention, there's a lot of things you need to start looking into, man. Why they be finding all these bodies with missing organs? Understand. We good for business. Look at here, man. Put aside the conspiracy theories for a moment. This is some woke shit, you know? This is some true educated shit. You know, once you begin to reject the falsehoods that they try to pump through your ears, once you reject that shit, you start seeing through your own eyes. You start researching, you start educating yourself in a different way. Not only through their college degrees, now you start educating yourself through realities. See, put it like this. We good for business in every way possible. Even kidnapping these children and deporting their parents. Oh, wow, why? That's fucked up. Where are the kids? Where are the kids? They about to be adopted by evangelical white Christians. Yeah, and not to knock my poor white peoples, you know, they need our helps, man. If y'all don't know, white peoples is dying more than what they are producing. And it's pretty fucked up. Yeah. And instead of coming to other races and asking for help, they want to pass these nation of laws. They want to make shit hard on colored peoples, and they want to kidnap our kids. They want to kidnap our kids, and they want to adopt our kids and raise our kids like they're their own. They did it to the Native Indians. They did it to the slaves. And the Native Indians is just us because brown skin is brown skin. So they've been stealing our kids since they've landed. They've been stealing our kids. They've been making them into theirs, teaching them their ways every time their production level falls. That's some woke shit. Pay attention, educate yourself, and trust. They've been taking our kids for years so they can adopt them themselves. That's what it is.
Stop the inhumane practice of separating children from parents as an immigration deterrent. The separation of children from their families is as American as apple pie and baseball. They did it to the Native community. It is nothing new. Not under the Trump administration. It's not new. This is not new. It happened under Obama, it happened under Bush, and it happened under Clinton and other presidents. Just because it's crueler right now, just because it's on a bigger scale right now, it does not mean that did not happen.
Right.
The attacks on our immigrant brothers and sisters must end at the border and in our neighborhoods. We are here. Where are we?
Here!
Where are we?
Here!
We are here.
We are 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 here!
Louder. We are here.
We are here!
We are here.
We are here!
We are here.
We are here!
You know what, I like to think that we are on the right side of history and that we're so actually compassionate human beings. So we are here because we care not only about ourselves and our immediate family members, but we care about everyone.
Humanity, right?
And I think that everyone who attends these actions and everyone who attended today is an amazing human being, and we all have the same passion regardless of our race, our ethnicity, and obviously our social status and our civic document status.
They work for you. Who here came out and vote? I don't see hands. Who voted? Who helped to register people to vote?
Yeah!
Who encouraged your friends to vote?
Yeah!
That's great. I've been following you for like about 2 years. Yeah, I believe like about 2 years now. And the groups are continuously getting, bigger. The momentum has not stopped. Why? Why do you believe it's not stopped?
I think the catalysm was the election of Trump. Everybody was very passive before because they didn't see on the news all these atrocities, even though they've been here. But now that it's more outright, I think people are finally starting to see that the country that they live in, they love, it's not as great as they thought it was. So now people are taking action and are being informed of what is happening within their communities and within their society. And I think that's very important for them. Trump is an asshole. Trump, he came and did a lot of harm to our communities. But one thing that he did right, actually, and that he did not intend, and probably the only good thing that he did right, is to wake up a lot of people, and for them to allow to see the atrocities that happen for many years.
And that's the truth. I personally believe in my studies and everything that Trump is the worst thing to ever happen to white supremacy. I believe that he's put the end to this culture. What is our aim? Where are we heading?
At least my aim in my personal side. Obviously, I cannot talk on behalf of other individuals. But my aim, actually, why I'm an activist since 2009, is because I want to make an impact. I am well aware that change comes slowly, and I'm probably going to die without seeing actual change, radical change. So I am here. My aim is to make an impact in individuals in my communities in order for future generations to learn from us and build from us, from our shoulders, from our work, and eventually there's going to be radical change.
And final, basically, every person you come across, plant a seed.
Exactly.
One flower will grow.
Exactly.
See, I hear a lot of my people, right? Brown Americans, born in this country. They say, oh yeah, I love this country, this, that, because they believe the narrative of what's being pushed. All these immigrants, this, that. And for some apparent reason, we've been brainwashed to believe and allow these borders to divide us. You love this country so much, then I ask you guys, please, start getting involved and start doing what this country represents. The land of the free, the home of the brave. Our peoples is hurting right now. And our peoples is fighting right now. And there's a lot of peoples right now that feel they ain't got a voice. And that's where we come in. We must be the voice for the voiceless. We plant a seed in hopes that this next generation that follows will lead. Brown America, rise up.